Reading Service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blind...
I'll tell you how many words they are.
I could do home list. Let's see. Oh, come on now. Why aren't you?
No, you can do that one you had up. That's fine.
I was, okay. I don't know why it...
I just don't want
There
to
we go.
do the same one.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Whatever you start with, or... Yeah, I've been told my voice carries, so...
I'm pretty soft-spoken, I'm told.
The time is 10 a.m.
And a good morning. Thank you for tuning into the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Dory, and I'm here with Carrie, and we invite you to listen to our broadcasts both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel, Monday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.
What? I'm not ready.
Okay. Well, home to listings climb in a new report. This is from the Springfield Business Journal, and this was first posted yesterday. Home to listings were up nearly 38% in October compared with the same month in 2024, according to a new Realtors.com report. The report indicates delistings climbed at an unusually high rate. Through October, year-to-date delistings were up 45.5%. Delistings are reported within a one-month lag. You can check out more from CNBC, it says here. And next is a picture of a high school from the ground up, Clever School District bond projects at 6800 West Veterans Boulevard and 103 South Public Avenue in Clever. Again, from the Springfield Business Journal, this is reported by Karen Crago. Owner, Clever School District. General contractor is Snyder Construction Group, LLC. And architect is Buxton Cubic Dodd Design Collective. Engineers on this project are Own Inc. Civil, Coleman Engineering Structure, and Buxton Cubic Dodd Design, Collective Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing. The size, 30,800 square feet, and the cost of the project, $8.6 million. The estimated completion is February of 2026. I'm the red, you're the blue.
I can't find it. Where is it? There it is. Hi, this is Kerry. We're going to go with CFP bracket hot takes from upset pick community flub to championship predictions by Blake Topmeyer. The college football playoff bracket is finalized, but the grievances will continue until the games begin. All right, let's be real. They'll continue after the games begin. The 12-team bracket means more drama than the 4-team format, but also in the circumstances of the CFP committee, some of those worthy circumstances, we might need to rethink the bracketing format. Something seems off when unranked Duke had a better chance of selection than number 14 Vanderbilt. Here are 7 college football playoff brackets, hot takes burning on my brain. Hang on. Playoff selections were the problem. Process is Notre Dame didn't process a superior resume than Alabama or Miami. Let's get that out of the way. Need a news, I don't need that. The Irish had some factors in their favor, but not enough to definitely outweigh the arguments of Alabama and Miami. I push back on anyone who's saying the Irish got snubbed. That implies they were clearly a better choice than Alabama and Miami. They weren't. The issue is not the selection of Alabama and Miami, but rather the path to reaching that decision, the optics of which look bizarre at best and downright fishy at worst. The committee told you for weeks it favored Notre Dame over Miami. Many of us disputed the legit logic because Miami beat the Irish in week 1, but the committee maintained every week that Notre Dame was the better team. Now suddenly it values Miami more because Brigham Young was lost to Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship. Seriously, that's the reason offered by the CFP committee chairman, Hunter Yorsak. BYU lost to Texas Tech for the second time. The Cougars dropped in the rankings, and somehow they compelled the committee to validate a head-to-head Miami Irish result it had rebuffed for weeks. Makes sense, you're right, not really. The committee also decided Alabama's pathetic performance in the 28-7 loss to Georgia in the second championship game didn't matter at all. Crimson Tide didn't budge an inch in the seeding, making it the only ranked team to lose the conference championship and not drop into the rankings. I respect the choice of Alabama. I respect the choice of Alabama and Miami for the final at-large spot. I have no respect for how the committee arrived at this section. And we're looking at a picture with the marching band on the field for the University of Indiana. Two automated bids weekend bracket near rethinking. Duke won the ACC despite playing fewer than half the teams in the conference. Think about that. The Blue Devils won the 17-team ACC while facing just 8 conference peers. That's an insignificant sample size to declare the team ineligible for automatic bid. Automatic bids were a worthy idea when conferences were smaller, but now that conferences are so big, a team can win its conference crown while playing only about half of the half the memberships. Conferences can be kept their championships. That's up to them, but CFP stockholders need to seriously reconsider whether auto bids are a bug or not a feature for the playoff. The committee didn't admit Duke, but Blue Devils' ACC title nonetheless became a wrench in the works because CFP rules indicate and dictate 5 conference championships must earn automatic bids. They paved the way for the selection of 2 of the 5 teams with auto bids. The inclusion of Tala James Madison cheapened the bracket. Nobody can say that with a straight face. Either of those teams are among the nation's 12 best teams. I don't want to dump on the little guy, and I'm not trying to rob the Blue Devils of their conference. But when 5 lost Duke and James Madison have their better chance of earning playoff section than 2 Vanderbilt, sometimes broken, keep the team bracket size at 12 teams, but rethink the low bids are allocated. Damn, I picked the wrong one. Number 3, alternating CFP by rules approved by a worthy change. If CFP stockholders had not changed the buy rules this whole off-season, then Tulane would have gotten by. The same Tulane team that lost to Mississippi by 35 points. The rules for the 12-team bracket in place last season dictated only conference championships could be received by a bye. Those rules were tweaked in the off-season so that the top 4 teams got buys no matter whether they won a conference title. At the time, I questioned whether or not the knee-jerk change, I was wrong. It was a worthy change. The rules alteration allowed Ohio State to nab the number 2 seed instead of the number 5 seed. And Tulane is number 11 instead of number 4, which would have been in seeds under last year's rules. Yes, indeed, a good judgment. Number 4, Indiana earns a great draw. Oregon's number 1 seed last season became a booby trap paired with the committee seeding Ohio State number 8. The Ducks' prize for going undefeated in a regular season became a rematch with the nation's most talented team in the quarterfinals. Didn't go well for Oregon, you recall. In this second iteration of the team's 12 bracket, number 1 Indiana drew a much better fate than Oregon did. There was no behemoth on the number 8 seed line, Akron to 2024 Ohio State, just Oklahoma. The Sooners have a supreme defense that could slow down Indiana star Fernando Mendoza. If Oklahoma handles number 9 Alabama in the first round, but the Sooners have the offense limitations, so does Alabama. And Indiana is equipped with the slugfest that approves in the Big Ten title game win over Ohio State. Hoosiers, if the Hoosiers can get their offense rolling a bit against the good defense of the final quarters with their opponents, won't be equipped until they keep it. Number 5, Texas Tech, a beast below the radar. After the SEC championships game, I mentioned to a fellow scribe, I thought one of 4 teams would win the national championships. Who's the 4th responded? He responded, Texas Tech. Who are the other 3? Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia. No one sane would dispute the first 3, but I'm not sure how anyone would watch Texas Tech twice crush Birmingham Young could with the 4th. The Raiders The Red Raiders' defense is poorly ferocity. Remove the conference logo patch, and you might think this is Kirby's smart defense. Texas Tech only lost the game out without starting quarterback Brandon Martin, who missed the Arizona State game with an injury. Indiana bracket draw and undeniably better than Bitter Pill, Oregon. Got handed last year, but the Hoosiers will be an upset if they lose the big face Oil University in the semifinals. Number 6, upset special. Number 10, Miami beats number 7, Texas A&M. Miami enters the playoff on headquarters on a heater after blows Syracuse, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and Pittsburgh. The Aggies wobbled in, needing a furious comeback to survive South Carolina, then losing to Texas. An official would have flagged Texas A&M for holding on September 13th in South Bend. The Aggies wouldn't be in the bracket. No flag merged, and so no argument with the Texas A&M bid. It's vulnerable to an upset. Carson Beck makes the journey of Kyle Field a bad Carson. Beck stays home. 7, national championship prediction. Ohio State, the Buckeyes, with the winning a national championship, did not substantially stiffen their movement from number 1 and number 2 seed line. The Hoosiers fan will cherish their Big Ten championship long after the days of Kurt sitting at a statue erected in. A national championship is absolutely in the play for Indiana, but neither Ohio State last 2 national titles included undefeated record. The Buckeyes can get off the mat this time too. Blake Tomer is the USA Network Senior National College Football Columnist. And now we're back to...
Okay. Well, there may be no Springfield School Board election in April, and here's why. This is an article written by Claudette Riley of the Springfield News-Leader, and a couple of key points in this AI-assisted summary. The Springfield School Board may not hold an election in April of 2026, a change from recent highly competitive races. Only 2 candidates, incumbents Judy Bruner and Sharita Thomas Tate, have filed for the 2 available seats. Canceling the election could save the school district approximately $180,000 in fees. The article begins, after 5 years of highly competitive, increasingly expensive, and sometimes nasty Springfield School Board races, 2026 appears likely to offer a reprieve. There may be no need for candidates to raise money, seek endorsements, or post yard sales signs prior to April 7th, 2026. Only 2 candidates, the exact number of open board seats, have expressed interest, picked up packets to run, and have gathered voter signatures. We see a picture of current Springfield School Board members Susan Provence, Gail Smart, Mariam Mokahammed Amikani, Judy Bruner, Sarah Huff, Sharita Thomas Tate, and Daniel Kincaid. This was at the April 15th, 2025 meeting. The article continues, the incumbents, Judy Bruner and Sharita Thomas Tate, submitted petitions on Tuesday, December 9th, the first day of filing. The deadline is Tuesday, December 30th. If Bruner and Thomas Tate are certified to run, meaning they gathered enough verified voter signatures, and no one else picks up a packet and files petitions with the requisite number of valid voter autographs, there will not be a board election in April. Under district policy, if the number of candidates who file by the deadline is equal to the number of seats available and there is no school bond or levy question on the ballot, no election is required. The lack of a board election may save the district close to $180,000. The district paid $179,000 $585,582 in election fees for 2025 and $184,600 in 2024, according to records requested by the News-Leader. Bruner, a retired school teacher and principal, was first elected in 2023. Currently board president, she previously served as vice president. Thomas Tate, an associate professor at Missouri State University, was first elected in 2020 and is seeking a third term. She's the longest-serving member on the current board. Unless a third candidate steps forward and is certified in time, Bruner and Thomas Tate will be sworn in mid-April. There is precedent for not having a board election. In 2020, retired educator Denise Frederick and then newcomer Thomas Tate were the only candidates for 2 open seats. The 7-member governing body sets policy, approves an annual budget, and hires and evaluates a superintendent. The 3-year at-large seats are staggered, so there are 2 or 3 openings annually. In 2021 and 2024, when 3 seats were open, there were 7 candidates. In 2023 and 2025, 4 candidates vied for 2 spots. In 2022, 5 candidates competed for 2 openings. Turnout for April elections in Greene County has ranged from 13% to 17% in the past 5 years. The 2025 election was civil, but several earlier election cycles were marked by divisive campaign tactics, largely by outside groups. 3 years ago, Bruner and Thomas Tate were the targets of negative TV ads, flyers, and videos paid for by explicitly conservative outside spending groups. That included personal attacks, sought to paint them as part of the status quo, and derided their experience and work as educator. 3 seats will be up for grabs in 2027. If no election is required, 2026 will be the first time since before the pandemic when the entire board will remain intact after an election. There currently are no men on the board. And once again, the other board members are Daniel Kincaid, an attorney and partner with the Elder Law Group, first elected in 2021, the board vice president, and her term expires in 2027. Mariam Al-Qadani, a retired pathologist, was first elected in 2021, with her term expiring in 2027. Susan Provence, retired Springfield teacher and coach, was first elected in 2024. Her term expires in 2027. Sarah Huff, senior human resources manager at Bass Pro Shops, was first elected in 2025. Her term expires in 2028. And Gail Smart, an attorney and community volunteer, was first elected in 2025, with her term expiring in 2028.
Hey, Curly, back here. We got a Springfield News-Leader. Springfield Base Entertainment Center rebrands ahead of the 25th anniversary by Susan Schutz of Springfield. This is week 417 food news. A Springfield-based entertainment center gets a new name, and downtown Springfield Sandwich Shop announces late night hours and late night menu, plus other coffee stands and pop-ups in the Ozarks. Buffett News Entertainment Center rebrands for the 25th anniversary. A Springfield-based chain of buffet entertainment centers have announced that it will take on a new name, recognizing that it's more than just a pizza place. The Incredible Pizza Company announced it will be known as well as Incredible Food and Fun after the 2025 AAPA Expo in Orlando, Florida. We're looking at a picture with the incredible pizza marquee and the building. Building's red, marquee signs blue. The new name and visible identity reflect upon the evaluation of over 25 years growing from an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet into a nationally recognized destination for attractions, modern food experience, and unforgettable family moments, the company said in a press release. The redesigned brand will Depute, the Springfield flagship, which is the company's original location. Incredible Food and Fun was established in 2001 as Incredible Pizza Company by the founders Rick and Cheryl Barson. The company is known for its 80,000 square feet of indoor family entertainment centers that offer attractions, arcade games, rides, and immersive experience alongside a freshly prepared food. The facilities are smoke-free and alcohol-free. New hours, late night menu at Springfield Sandwich Shop. Sandwich Shop has a picture at the front with Sunday Lewis We Trust. Looks like a nice place. The Almighty Sandu Shop, 208 West McDaniel Street, has added new hours and late night menu for the customers' requests. The spot for unique sandwiches is now open late on Friday, Saturdays for close downtown Springfield cravings, snacks, and hitting up the bars after seeing shows. According to Facebook post, the shop will be open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then back up from 10 p.m. on Fridays, and will be open noon to 6 p.m. before opening back up at 10 p.m. on Saturdays. The late night menu includes build your own sliders with options for protein toppings, as well as Cajun fries, sweet tots, crab ragoon. The Mighty Sadu Shop, it's got its start in the food truck before moving into a brick and mortar location previously occupied by the sandwich scene. Coffee Shop opens our Ozark location. A drive-through coffee stand has opened another Ozark location, A7 brew option at 1602 West South in Ozark on November 12th. It'll be open 5:30 to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. In addition to grand opening, a press release said that the location donated more than $21,000 to local nonprofit Care to Learn, which partners with school districts to meet children's health, hunger, and hygiene needs. The stand will add 65 jobs to the area. According to the press release, the 7 brewers offer over 20,000 unique drink combinations of coffee, sodas, energy drinks, smoothies, and teas. There are currently 7 stands in Springfield.
And we are currently broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store in Springfield, Missouri, located at 2713 North Kansas Expressway. You'll find amazing deals Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Help the blind, help the community. And we see a picture of the Murney Realtor headquarters here in Springfield with the caption, Murney Associates Realtors has absorbed Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates. The headline is Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates merges into Murney Associates Realtors. This is a story by Jeff Pickle. Following its merger with Southwest Missouri Realty this fall, Murney Associates Realtors has added another residential real estate firm to the mix. Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates has joined Murney Associates Realtors, according to a December 8th news release. Jeff Parker, broker at Murney Associates Realtors, classified the agreement with Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates as a merger. Quote, "This partnership represents growth, strength, and a shared commitment to serving our community," said Twyla Hilme, a broker at Murney Associates Realtors, in the release. The release indicating more than 30 real estate agents have joined Murney Associates Realtors from both Southwest Missouri Realty and Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates. Parker said around 15 of those are from Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates. Real estate agent Michelle Lewis formed Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates in 2020, about a year after the Coldwell Banker brand exited the market, according to past Springfield Business Journal reporting. The national brand previously operated locally through Springfield area affiliate Coldwell Banker Vanguard. Lewis is among the real estate agents joining Murney Associates Realtors from Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates, Parker said. Past reporting indicates Southwest Missouri Realty merged into Murney Associates Realtors on October 10th for undisclosed terms. Murney Associates Realtors ranked number 1 on Springfield Business Journal's 2025 list of the area's largest residential real estate firms. Murney reported gross residential sales in 2024 of $1.4 billion, with total residential transactions that year of 4,256. Coldwell Banker Lewis and Associates brings roughly $17 million in sales to Murney Associates Realtors, said Parker. And in shopping news from Ozark, we see a picture. It's an Aldi stock photo showing the interior of a store location. Aldi has set an opening date in Ozark. One of the key tenants in the Ozark Marketplace development is set to open soon. Batavia, Illinois-based Aldi has scheduled a December 11th grand opening for its 1979 West Waverly Street store in Ozark, according to a news release. Quote, "At our new Ozark Aldi store, shoppers will find that every decision we make, from our product selection to store layout, is to provide our customers with the best products at the lowest possible prices of any national grocer," said Skylar Jones, Regional Vice President for Aldi, in the release. The roughly 12,000 square foot Aldi store in Ozark would employ 15 to 20 people, according to a spokesperson. Aldi is part of the 26-acre Ozark Marketplace commercial development that's being built at the interchange of Highway 65 and South Street. Dutch Brothers, McDonald's, Plaza Tire Service, and Casey's are among other tenants on board, according to past reporting.
Let's go to sports. Again, we got November portions of Missouri firearms deer season harvest falls below 15% below 5-year average. This is reported by Marta Mears, Springfield News. With the November portion of firearm deer hunting season concluded, primary harvest numbers are in, and they are below the 5-year average. According to Missouri Department of Conservation news release, 159,120 deer were harvested during the season that ran from November 16th to the 26th. Most of these were antlered bucks at more than 82,600, with 63,304 does and 13,203 button bucks, also harvested in Greene and Christian counties. A total of 1,350 and 1,187 deer were harvested respectively, both lower by several hundred from the last year. Franklin County posted the top harvest numbers in the state, surpassing 3,500 deer. This year's harvest was significantly lower than last year's November portion total of almost 194,000, according to the release. This year's harvest also falls about 15% below the 5-year average. MDC Surveyed Program Supervisor Jason Isabel said that in the release several factors contributed to the drop in harvest, including the calendar shift, acorn crop, and weather conditions, with the November portions starting about a week later it was further from the peak rut, in which is about November 10, Isabel said. Much of November was also unseasonably warm and included some high wind days impacting both deer movement and hunters' desire to be out in the woods. With more acorns in the forests across the state, deer also need to be moved less to find food. Firearms deer hunters hunting in Missouri includes this CWD portion, November 27th to December 1st, in which open counties, the late youth portion, which runs from November 29th to December 1st, followed by a late antler portion, December 7th to the 15th, is in open counties, and then the alternative methods portions, December 28th to January 27th. The archery deer seasons reopen November 27th and run through January 15th.
Missouri School Board praises Conway High School response to a bus crash. This is a story by Claudette Riley, Springfield News-Leader, and a couple of key points. A bus carrying students from 3 Missouri school districts to an FFA convention crashed in Laclede County. The Missouri Board of Education publicly recognized Superintendent Mike Searson and his team for their response. A school service dog named Lecrae was credited with having a calming effect on the shaken students. This happened 6 weeks ago. A bus carrying students from 3 school districts in southwest Missouri slid off a curvy road during a rainstorm and rolled over in Laclede County. Superintendent Mike Searson got a call October 29th from first responders. His district in Conway was the closest and help was needed. It was cold, it was raining, and they needed to get the kids somewhere where they could take care of them, assess them, he recalled. Next is a picture of Conway High School students Allison Conrad and Abby Bertoldi, along with Laclede County Superintendent Mike Searson. They were praised by the Missouri Board of Education. This was a picture taken during a December 9th meeting in Springfield, and we see them along with some other people attending that meeting. The article continues. Searson said first responders also needed a safe place away from the crash where parents could be reunited with their children. You can imagine getting that phone call and parents coming, he said. Searson boarded a bus with a driver and rushed to the scene near Phillipsburg. On the way out the door, he asked administrators to, quote, get some snacks and be ready for his return with students who were cold and shaken up. What happened next spurred the Missouri Board of Education to spotlight and publicly thank Searson and his Conway High School team, who welcomed students from the bus and provided muffins and sweatshirts. Emily Manley, Chief of Staff for Commissioner of Education Carla Esslinger, introduced the group from Conway during the December 9th meeting of the State Board in Springfield. She said Dr. Searson jumped into action. Manley said not only were the students from Bolivar, Fairplay, and Dadeville greeted by their peers in Conway, but by the school service dog. Lecrae here was the best friend of many of those students who were in the accident, she said, referring to the dog lying quietly on the floor in the meeting. At one point, he rolled over on his back. In all, about 50 high school students from the 3 districts were traveling by bus to the Future Farmers of America, or FFA, National Convention in Indiana in late October at the time of the crash. At least 10 students required medical care for minor injuries. The rest boarded the bus to Conway High School. Searson praised Student Council President Abby Bertoldi and Vice President Allison Conrad, who attended the state board meeting along with Lecrae, for their leadership during the response. We see a picture of Superintendent Searson along with the infamous, well-known service dog Lecrae, who is lying at his feet with his service dog harness on. He's a white lab, I believe. The story continuing that everyone was there helping with blankets, clothing, whatever was needed. Matt Searson says they were just glad to do something we know other districts would have done as well. Searson added that they were just proud of their community to be able to help. Bertoldi, a senior, said she needed to step in as a peer, as someone who could be a shoulder to cry on. Board President Mary Schrag said the Conway students showed, quote, "Our world is in good hands." "I want to compliment the student leaders," she said. "That is very impressive to step up and help classmates from another school. That is impressive." Board member Pamela Westbrooks-Hodge told the students thanks for being angels and standing in the gap for others. Searson said Lecrae, named by his trainer after a Christian rapper and singer, had only been in the Conway district since August. She says it was just amazing to watch the calming effect that the dog had for kids that just wanted some normalcy and kind of just pretty upset, he said. A few weeks after the crash, districts with students on the bus sent lunch to Conway High School.
Okay, we got Mystery Hour with Marta Mays. Mystery Hour to include actor Ed Begley Jr. for Holiday Show. Springfield's owner Mystery Hour is getting ready to host its annual holiday show, made even more jolly this year by including actor Ed Begley Jr. The Mystery Hour Holiday Spectacular brings a holiday twist to late night talk show style on Friday, December 12th at Gillo's Theater, 325 Park Central East. The show announced via news release Wednesday, December 3rd, that it will be joined by Begley, who has appeared in many movies and TV shows, including Young Sheldon, Better Call Saul, Arrested Development, Almighty Wind, and Holiday Touch, a Chief's love story. And we got a picture of Ed Begley Jr. sitting at his desk. Joining Begley will also be musician Randall Shreve. The evening of holiday fun also promises performances by Junior Goodwin, Emerson Day, and the digital videos according to the release. The show will be beginning at 7:30, and tickets will be purchased for $25 at Gilzo box office or the website. The Mystery Hour aired for 10 seasons on various Fox, ABCS, NBC, and CW affiliated across the country, broadcast from Griselda's Theater in Springfield. During the 10 seasons on television, the show has 4 Emmy Awards from the Mid-America chapter.
Springfield businesses' donations benefit Make-A-Wish and the library. Incredible Pizza Company donates $19,000 to Make-A-Wish. America's Incredible Pizza Company announced the conclusion of its fall 2025 Making Wishes Come True campaign with an official donation of $19,028 to Make-A-Wish. A check presentation ceremony was held at the company's Springfield corporate office with representatives from Make-A-Wish, Missouri, and Kansas. The fundraising campaign, which the company plans to make an annual initiative, ran from September 16th to November 30th across all Incredible Pizza Company-owned locations. Guests who donated $5 received a free attraction, with the total raised divided equally among 4 Make-A-Wish chapters, averaging about $4,757 per chapter. This campaign began right here at our flagship store in Springfield, and seeing our communities rally together against all 5 markets has been inspiring, said Ashley McGuire, EVP of IPC Family Entertainment. Every donation, big or small, represents someone choosing to be part of a child's wish journey. We are proud to partner with Make-A-Wish and grateful for the powerful work they do in every community we serve. Following is a picture, Incredible Pizza Company, who raised more than $19,000, as we just mentioned, for Make-A-Wish. We see a picture of several staff members and, of course, a large check with that wonderful amount. Arvest Foundation donates $10,000 for the Republic Library. The Arvist Foundation has donated $10,000 to the Springfield Greene County Library Foundation. The grant will provide funding for one of the new Republic Branch Library's Business Center conference rooms. The Business Center will include additional meeting rooms and a 150-seat auditorium as well. The library will also have a dedicated teen section and upgraded space for children, along with an interactive outdoor space for its younger patrons and a nature trail. The gift was announced recently at the library in Republic. Penny Lacey, sales manager, EVP for Arvist Bank, Springfield Region, Andrea Sitz's commercial lender, and Missouri Economic Development Council President Mindy Thompson, branch administrator, vice president. And Chandler Johnston, a community marketing manager, VP, presented the check to Springfield Greene County Library District Director of Institutional Advancement, Bridget Dirks, Republic Branch Library Manager, Taisha Shea, and Planning and Development Librarian Katie Hopkins. There is a picture of representatives of Arvist touring the Republic Branch Library, which is currently under construction. And Springfield Police Department graduating 12 new recruits. The Springfield Police Department graduated 12 police recruits from the 80th Police Academy on Friday, February 5th. The graduates include 11 men and 1 woman with a variety of educational backgrounds and work experience, including military, medical, social services, retail, construction, corrections, and police dispatch. The Springfield Police Academy includes 1,074 hours of intense law enforcement training over 27 weeks, which this class of recruits began back in June. After graduation, the new police officers are assigned to an experienced field training officer, also known as an FTO, for the next 16 weeks for an additional 640 hours of on-the-job training. Once they complete the FTO program, the officers are assigned to solo patrol duties in the Uniform Operations Bureau. And additionally, on December 1st, 1 lateral police officer graduated from the 24th Lateral Police Academy, along with 1 fire marshal. The graduate brings more than 9 years of experience with the Joplin Police Department to SPD. The Lateral Academy is a shortened, paid training academy designed specifically for experienced police officers. Recruitment is ongoing for future Springfield police officers. Learn more at gospd.com/officer.
Share your Christmas. A couple takes in 3 kids after a family emergency. Number 28 emergency changes everything. When the phone call came in telling of a family emergency, Mom and Dad realized their life would suddenly change. Creating a safe and loving home for 3 young children became their priority. However, it necessitated resigning from their job and moving across the country to Missouri. Moving expenses, money required to rent a house, initiate utility services, restock their kitchen, having taken so much of their savings. Mom wrote, "These kids have nothing, so they will be thankful for anything." We are so grateful to y'all, as well as hoping to be in a home by Christmas so we can have the best one ever. Prayer and welcome. Thank you for being blessed to my babies. 2 children are in the elementary school. The youngest is a toddler. For each child, there is a list of toys they hope to find Christmas morning. Mother said they have coats and need winter clothing, hats, mittens, gloves. Other helpful items would be children's toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo. Number 29, Deanna tips her cap, including her clothing request. Diana wrote, "Any color but pink." That's funny. Other than that, a donor can choose any color for her sweater, shirt, ball cap, requested by a lady's Christmas box. Deanna would especially like that new cap because she is famous for tipping her cap and the caller whenever she yells bingo. Besides bingo, Deanna is a whiz at trivia, placed 5th in the Missouri Healthcare Association Golden Age Games. Diana has worked harder as a manager at McDonald's for many years. Now she is relaxing, looking forward to the clothing and treats arriving for Christmas. Number 30, saving the kittens for Christmas. Jeffrey likes to share his favorite Christmas stories with Care Center residents and visitors. One Christmas Eve, he got an emergency phone call to work on a furnace. As he was returning to his truck, he saw a plastic container sitting in the parking lot. When he peeked inside it, he found 2 kittens, cold and barely alive. He quickly replaced them in his truck and took them home and was able to save both kittens. Oh, you moved me. Was able to save both kittens. Where is it? Both kittens. As he got older, Jeffrey says he doesn't like the cold weather and has requested warm sweatshirt, gloves, and blankets, Christmas gifts. Kettle corn, ginger, snaps are his favorite snacks.
Federal judges tossed the Missouri Attorney General's challenge to gerrymander a referendum. Article written by Rudy Keller. And the key points in the AI-assisted summary: a federal judge dismissed a lawsuit by Missouri Republicans aiming to block a statewide vote on a new congressional map. The Republican-drawn map intended to gain a GOP seat, which will take effect unless a referendum with enough signatures is submitted. A separate state court case is deciding when referendum signature gathering can legally begin and which signatures are valid. A federal judge Monday, December 8th, refused to back Missouri's Republican leaders' efforts to block a statewide vote on a gerrymandered congressional district map, dismissing a case filed by Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. U.S. District Judge Zachary Bluestone ruled he had no jurisdiction over the lawsuit brought on behalf of Secretary of State Denny Hoskins and the General Assembly, claiming the U.S. Constitution bars state referendums on congressional district plans. The decision came just a few hours after Cole County Circuit Judge Christopher Limbaugh conducted a 3-hour trial over when a referendum petition drive can begin and which signatures should be counted when petitions are submitted. Limbaugh did not issue a ruling Monday, December 8th, and gave attorneys until Wednesday afternoon, December 10th, today, to file proposed judgments. Following is a picture of Catherine Hanaway talking to reporters on August 19th after being announced as the state attorney's general. She's in a red suit and is talking to reporters. The redistricting bill forced through in September by Republicans at the insistence of President Donald Trump is scheduled to take effect on Thursday, December 11th, for use in the 2026 elections. Republicans hope to win 7 of the state's 8 congressional seats by adding enough GOP votes to flip the 5th district, currently held by Democratic U.S. Representative Emanuel Cleaver of Kansas City. If referendum petitions with sufficient signatures are submitted, the map will take effect only if it is upheld in a statewide vote in November. The issues in the now dismissed federal case can all be decided in state court, wrote Bluestone, a recent Trump appointee. All Hoskins has to do, he said, is reject the petitions gathered by people, not politicians, the campaign committee seeking the referendum. The deadline for submitting signatures is Thursday, December 11th. Fortunately for the state, Secretary Hoskins has a tool at his disposal that almost no other litigant could boast: the power to declare the petition unconstitutional himself, Bluestone wrote. That would trigger litigation over the main question, he wrote. A decision that the Missouri Constitution does not permit a redistricting referendum would moot the state's federal constitutional claims, while a decision that it does clearly permit them would significantly narrow the issues, Bluestone wrote. Further, abstaining here would avoid federal interference in a referendum process created entirely by the Missouri Constitution and state law. Headline says, state lawsuit over signatures. The main question in the lawsuit heard December 8th by Limbaugh is when a referendum petition drive can begin. Attorney Chuck Hatfield, representing People Not Politicians, said the Missouri Constitution clause giving the people the, quote, power to approve or reject by referendum any act of the General Assembly, unquote, means signature gathering can begin as soon as lawmakers hold the final vote on a bill. Hatfield said, "We don't need the governor's signature on something to seek a referendum on it, nor do we need the Secretary of State's approval to gather signatures." Deputy Solicitor General William Sedlick, arguing for the state, said a referendum can only be held on a law. No bill, he said, even if passed by lawmakers, is a law unless it is signed by the governor. And a law giving the Secretary of State authority to approve or reject the form of a referendum petition, he said, means no signatures can be gathered until the approval is received. You only have a referendum on an enacted law, Seidlich said. He submitted that there's no law without the governor's signature. Mark Ellinger, who represents a campaign committee set up to defend the map, put Missouri first, asked Limbaugh to throw the whole case out as premature. No signatures have been submitted, he said, so there's no true controversy over which are being counted. They're trying to get an answer on the validity of signatures before the statutory process is completed, Ellinger said. To force a referendum on a new law, petitioners must get signatures from 5% of voters in 6 of the state's 8 congressional districts. That is about 110,000 signatures. People Not Politicians has enlisted more than 2,000 volunteers and gathered more than 300,000 signatures, including 12,000 last week. Campaign Director Richard Von Glahn said during a December 8th conference call with the Missouri Voter Protection Coalition. "We're going to continue to fight to make sure every Missourian's voice is heard," Von Glahn said to coalition members. In the afternoon, Von Glahn was in a Cole County courtroom, while Chrissy Peters, state elections director since 2017, testified that unless a court order says otherwise, no signatures collected before October 14th will be checked against voter registration rolls. That is a key date because it's the day Hoskins approved the form of the petition. In the lawsuit, People Not Politicians is arguing that signatures gathered after September 15th, when the petition form was submitted, should be checked. Of the 300,000 signatures, the campaign says it has collected the outcome of the December 8th hearing, with only impact an estimated 92,000 that were preemptively rejected by Hoskins. Limbaugh has another decision pending that will impact whether or not the referendum occurs. He heard arguments November 12th in a lawsuit brought by opponents of redistricting over the state constitution's directive on when and how to draw congressional district maps. If Limbaugh rules lawmakers did not have power to redraw the districts between census reports, the law would not take effect. The Missouri redistricting fight is part of a national debate over when states could redraw congressional district boundaries for partisan advantage. Republicans hold a 220 to 213 edge in the U.S. House, with 2 vacant seats previously held by Democrats. 6 states, including Missouri, have enacted new congressional maps this year in response to the push initiated when Texas redrew its district lines to flip 5 Democratic seats. The U.S. Supreme Court upheld the new Texas map last week. California countered and revised its maps to move 5 seats to the Democratic Party. North Carolina's new map is intended to net 1 seat for Republicans. Ohio has passed a new map to add 2 GOP seats, and a nonpartisan redistricting commission in Utah revised that state's 4th district in a way likely to favor a Democratic candidate in one.
Springfield bathroom remodeler charged with deceiving customers. Springfield business owner faces 20 felony charges for allegedly defrauding customers. James Burnett is accused of taking deposits for bathroom remodels and not completing the work. Missouri Attorney General's office states total consumer losses exceed $395,000. This story was updated to include the statement from the attorney representing the defendant. A Springfield business owner facing 20 felony charges filed by the Missouri Attorney's General Office, allegedly defrauding customers by collecting deposits for bathroom remodels and never completing work. James Bennett, operating a Bath Planet, Missouri, has been charged with 10 counts of deception, business practice, 9 counts of financially exploitation of the elderly and disabled, and 1 count of stealing by deception, according to the news release from the Attorney General's office. The office had received a total of 38 complaints alleging customers did not receive the work Bennett promised. According to the probable cause of the statement filed in Greene County Circuit Court, the documents also notes that the total losses amount for all consumers is more than $395,000. Most of the complaints were filed by customers who were more than 60 years old at the time of the transaction. Attorney Chad Mann, representing Bennett, provided the following statement to the News-Leader via email. Missouri's business community thrives when our legal systems focuses on genuine wrongdoing and widespread public harm, like the opiate cases that former AG Josh Hawley companioned. That was a fight against actual corporation fraud and deception. Our client's matter, on the other hand, is simply a civil dispute, not a criminal case. We believe that the AG's office should prioritize its efforts on matters that restore confidence in the business environment and address true misconduct. Franchise severs ties. Bennett was the registered agent of a American Reflections Bath and Spa company through according to the Missouri Secretary of State business database, the corporation has voluntarily dissolved in October. The Better Business Bureau warned the customers of the business in September following a pattern of complaints that reports making payments but not receiving the services or a refund. The Better Business Bureau releases notes of Bennett informed the Bureau that the Bath Planet was shut down and the business had been rebranded Reflections Bath and Spa in May. Bath Planet had confirmed to the Better Business Bureau that Bath Planet, Missouri was previously franchised but was no longer an authorized dealer according to the release, due to multiple and serious violations of dealer strands, including a partner of complaints, failure to deliver contract services, and negative media attention. We have formally terminated their right to operate under the Bath Planet brand. The company wrote an email. According to the release, it added that it is committed to ensuring that any business operating under Bath Planet name upholds the highest standards. Bennett was already facing felony charges in Dallas County that was filed in September for stealing $750 or more. $750 or more. In that probable cause statement, Buffalo Police Chief Chad Gardner states a victim reported entering into a contract in November of 24 for Bath Planet to purchase and install step-in bathtub at their Buffalo residence. The total contract price was roughly $11,000, with the customer paying nearly $8,300 up front. The paperwork indicated that the work was estimated to be completed February 12/25. The victim had contacted police in June with no progress made on the bathtub, while Garner continued to check in both customer and Bennett, the work had still not been completed in mid-September. The court documents notes Gardner had also received several other complaints regarding Bennett from across the southwest Missouri, including complaint investigations by Nixa Police Department. Bennett had posted bond in excess of $8,000 in Dallas County case. According to the Casnet filings, a warrant was issued in the case stemming from the AG's office carrier's $25,000 open court bond. Mann, Representative Bennett, has filed a motion to recall, squash the warrant, arguing that Bennett has already voluntarily appeared in court and the jailing the business owner was not necessary. Martez covers the local government news at the Leader. Have feedback, tips, or ideas?
Well, in dining news, a Nixa Italian restaurant is preparing to reopen after a June accident. This was first posted in the Springfield News-Leader on December 6th. This week in 417 Foodie News, an area favorite plans to reopen after an accident. A Nigerian restaurant is now opening reservations, and a speakeasy pops up in Nixa. Plus, try out local coffee at a weekend event. First off, the Italian restaurant in Nixa aiming to reopen soon. And following is a picture of Piccolo at 107 West Aldersgate Drive in Nixa. The restaurant had been closed since January 30th of 2025 when a car crashed into the back of it. They are aiming, as I mentioned, for a December 9th reopening. They announced that on Facebook. The post garnered more than 1,600 reactions and nearly 200 comments from customers excited to dine at the restaurant again. The Italian restaurant closed in June after a car crashed into the back office and backline kitchens / dish room, said owner Steve D'Arpino in a June 30th Facebook post. No employees were injured, though the car's driver was taken to the hospital. Since then, the Ozarks community has come together to support the restaurant and its employees through a GoFundMe campaign, as well as an August fundraiser at Food Hall 14 Mill Market. D'Arpino has run Piccolo for nearly a decade in Nixa, according to past News-Leader reporting. The restaurant opened at 107 West Aldersgate Drive as a spin-off of his parents' Springfield restaurant, D'Arpino's Italian Cafe. Marianne and Mark D'Arpino closed the cafe in 2018 due to health problems after 13 years in business. The next headline about the Nigerian restaurant now opening and accepting reservations. Grace Kitchen, 431 South Jefferson Avenue, Suite 172, is now open in Springfield. The restaurant started as a catering business run by Patience. She's known as Grace Gigi and specializes in Nigerian dishes like egusi soup, fufu, jollof rice, and plantains. Grace Kitchen is open 11 a.m. till 2 for lunch and 4 to 9 p.m. for dinner. Reservations can be made online at gracekitchens.com/booking. Next headline says, step into a hidden winter wonderland with new speakeasy. 14 Mill Market, which is located at 203 East Mount Vernon Street in Nixa, has opened up a new bar if you can find it. The Whisper Mill, a speakeasy with a hidden entrance in the food hall, is serving up handcrafted cocktails in a cozy space. For the holiday season, Whisper Mill is hosting Klaus and Key, a pop-up bar open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays throughout December. While reservations are already filled up, the bar accepts walk-ins every hour, starting at 5 p.m. Step inside our moody winter hideaway filled with twinkle lights, vintage holiday charm, themed cocktails, and that signature Whisper Mill magic, the bar posted on Facebook. There are also ticketed events, including a sip and paint on December 10th, featuring wine glass painting and wine flights, Dip, Sip, and Give, which is set for December 21st, where guests can bring a toy for Harmony House and receive a complimentary cocktail, as well as purchase their favorite cocktail in a Maker's Mark bottle. An industry night, December 23rd, a brunch on December 24th, and a New Year's Eve dinner ahead of the Food Hall's annual party. And you can try out local coffees at area roaster event. The Caffeine Crawl, which is a pub crawl-style event that has been taking place across the nation for more than a decade, is returning to Springfield for the first time since 2011. This caffeine crawl, is just a bit different than its predecessor. Rather than visiting each location, the event is more like a holiday market where vendors and shops convene at Copper Canyon Coffee Roasters, 4234 West 3rd Street in Battlefield. And the event was just held. Sorry we missed that so much. Hope they had a wonderful turnout.
State board member says it's time to commit to an open enrollment issue. Board member Pamela Westbrooks Hodge said, "We've been in this vague state for about 3 interactions, and at this time to do the research to form a clear opinion." Missouri Board of Education came close to pulling a statement about open enrollment from its list of 2026 legislative priorities after members argued the group position on this issue was not clear. The board opted to retain the proposed language, which was stronger than prior years, but agreed more to work was needed. There no one spokesman opposition for open enrollment. We've been in this vague state for about 3 interactions, and at this time for us to do the research to form a more clear opinion. The board member Pamela Westbrooks Hodge and of Pasadena Hills said during the September 9th meeting in Springfield, it has been generally for 3 years, so that at what point do we do the research and then we have a more priority clear statement? I think it's time. And then they got a picture of the Capitol building. In the approved 2026 legislative priority list of the board stated supports legislation on voluntary public school enrollment. At this base, the best practices as determined by the DESE and the stakeholders. DESE stands for State Department of Elementary Secondary Education. Westbrook and Hodges said any statement by the board ought to be explicitly reflected of our position and not safely generic. In recent years, the platform merely suggested DESE to work with stakeholders and examine the best practices for option. The slew of open enrollment bills have been introduced by lawmakers, and support has been growing, especially among Republicans. A form of school choice, it aims to give public school students the right to attend the district they want rather than the one they are assigned to based on where they live. The proverbial devil, however, in this details, and that it varies by bill. Some proposals have sought to make open enrollment voluntary, allowing districts to opt in or out. Some seek to cap the number of annual transfers while others do not. Another issue is often debate how much funding earmarked for the education should follow the student's new district. And they got a picture of Pamela Westbrooks. Westbrooks Hodges said that she is worried that the opinion might be especially harmful to small or rural districts. Board member Michael Maches of Kansas City said even this year's updated language could be interrupted by a number of different ways. I have no clue what our position is on open enrollment since we've never discussed it, said Marchwitz, who was appointed in April. He was the only vote against approving the list. Board member Carrie Casey Chesterfield said there is value in having an open-ended statement about the issue of crafting in detail sense. Will take time and research. She asked that Carl Esslinger, Commissioner of Education, add a discussion about open enrollment to the agenda of the future board meeting. Esslinger said there is a lot of nouns to the issue, including how students with special needs and student athletes will be handled if open enrollment is approved. A former lawmaker, Esslinger said, has taken time for the proposals to evolve, and there are no guardrails for districts. You got a picture of Carrie Casey over there. They continue to have conversations in legislative about what is the best fit for Missouri, how to do creative opportunity choice within the public system. She said by having this board have an opinion that open enrollment is something we want and have to conversation about, I think it matters. It makes us relevant. Several board members have suggested approving a list as is and then revising it later with more refined statement. It is time to commit to the research and not just kick this generic statement down the road. Board President Mary Schrag said the board wants a seat at the table to have an input if the perennial issues move forward. I do feel strongly we should we should have something on the desk for the legislators. She said, I do think it's important to let them know that we are having these conversations.
And Willard police investigate a homicide. Woman released, then was arrested and then released, says the headline. The suspect went to the Springfield police station on Battlefield Road early Monday morning to turn herself in. She reportedly told police the dead man's body was in Willard. This is an article by Steve Pokin, and following is a picture of a patch for the Willard Police Department. Willard police are investigating a homicide involving a woman suspected of killing a man early Monday morning in their Willard home, according to Willard Police Chief Tom McLean. The woman turned herself into police Monday morning and told them where the man's body was in Willard, McLean said. The man and woman lived in the 900 block of Fox River Avenue in Willard. McLean said the case involves an allegation by the woman who is the suspect of domestic abuse. McLean did not name the suspect, and he said she was arrested on suspicion of felony assault and then released as the investigation continues. Asked why the suspect was not arrested on suspicion of murder, McLean said the Willard detective handling the case believed the appropriate charge at this point is felony assault. Suspect was held in county jail for 24 hours. McLean said the suspect was in South Springfield early Monday when she went to the Springfield Police Department at 2620 East Battlefield Road to turn herself in. But the station's lobby was not open, and she was unable to contact anyone there, so she called 911 and reported that the man was dead and where his body was in Willard, McLean said. Police arrested the woman shortly after that phone call. Police were at the home in Willard at 3:27 a.m. Monday. The suspect was booked into the Greene County Jail at approximately 5 a.m. and placed on a 24-hour hold. She was released at about 5 a.m. on Tuesday. The Office of the Greene County Prosecuting Attorney ultimately decides whether charges will be filed. McLean did not name the deceased man. He said the man's family had not been notified as of Tuesday afternoon. He declined to reveal how the man was killed. McLean, a Willard chief since 1994, said this is the first homicide case in the city since 2020. We're broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store, the world's first retail store to use Navilens to help navigate and inform blind and visually impaired individuals while shopping with little to no assistance. If you'd like more information, visit our website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com.
Medians on East Sunshine Street still opposed by business despite changes. Despite making adjustments to its proposal to build safety medians along East Sunshine Street, Missouri Department of Transportation continued to be the target of criticism from local business owners as well as state and county representatives. Sunshine Street east of Glenstone Avenue has the highest crash rate of all 5-lane roads in Missouri, or in Springfield, sorry. More than double the statewide average. MoDOT mediums could be a big part of the solution. MoDOT's improvement project spans from 4.2 miles from Glenstone Avenue to Farm Road 199, which then carries more than an $11.2 million price tag. The project includes resurfacing, updating pedestrian facilities, and safety and operational improvements such as traffic signals. The most controversial part has been and continues to be the proposal to add medians to some parts of the roadway and reduce left lane turns outside of signalized intersections, which are shown to be involved in 74% of driveway-related crashes. And they got picture of an intersection with a red light and cars turning and waiting for the light. Springfield city staff are highly supportive to the MoDOT's project, and MoDOT argued it has made adjustments to address businesses' concerns about the medians, which said it is necessary to make all safety-related improvements, but several business owners, Greene County Sheriff Arnett, and some of the state elected officials called for the mediums to be mixed from the plan. Although the east portion of Sunshine falls under MoDOT's jurisdiction, the city is only contributing roughly $200,000 in funds for the portions of the sidewalks, improvements, and possible aesthetic adjustments. The medians. Springfield City Council was presented with the update information on MoDOT's proposal, and the city staff's view on the project and the opposing concerns other than the meeting on Tuesday, December 9th. MoDOT does not need the city's permission to move forward with the project. Mayor Jeff Schrag described the inquiry of council as a gut check and noted that if the council does nothing, the project proceeds as is, insinuating the council could signal to MoDOT opposition's alternate recommendations that would still be symbolic gestures, as council has limited legislative power to influence this state agency. This is kind of unprecedented in our role and our dealing with MoDOT, because it is MoDOT's street, said Schrag. Raised medians are a purpose for 4 intersections along 4.2 corridor mile at Enterprise Avenue, Meadowview Avenue, Pilgrim Mill Road, East Highway 65. These medians would look similar to others found around Springfield, to be 8 inches high, 4 feet wide, and include the enhanced look of a red stamped pattern. And it's got a picture of where they're gonna move the turn lanes and put the medians in. Arguments for and against medians. From 2016 to 2024, the section of Sunshine saw a total of 1,808 crashes, resulting in 6 fatalities, 35 disabling crashes. The east side of Sunshine carries on average 28,000 vehicles per day, with a maximum values hitting 36,000 vehicles per day. Ron Foster, the city's Assistant Director of Public Works, said 2-way turn lanes or chicken lanes are recommended for the Federal Highway Administration only for the streets that see fewer than 20,000 vehicles per day, though they effectively function without major issues up to 28,000 vehicles per day. For every crash we see there's literally hundreds of close calls, Foster said. And it's got a picture of 4 separate locations, raised medians. MoDOT Project Director Christine Beckham said the daily vehicle count was higher 3 years ago with 32,000 vehicles per day. Foster had noted that the safety issues go unaddressed. Traffic counts tend to decrease as drivers want to avoid unpredictable congestion as caused by crashes and decide to cut through neighborhoods with traffic slows. When we think about the articles, they're literally the lifeblood of our community. He said, I know change is difficult, but it's essential. Change is going to occur. Our city is going to change. We are going to manage and propagate it, or it will just happen. This is really the question. While a majority of crashes on Sunshine Street in minor or no injuries, Beckman said the issues are not severity, but rather high volume crashes along the corridor. Beyond physical harm, crashes have negative economic impacts due to damage insurance costs and create delays that can lead to more aggressive driving. She said the goal is to separate and reduce access points along Sunshine so that crossing movements are occurring at fewer locations. Both Foster and Beckman presented to council that the study's comparisons similar situations have showed that there are little to no impact on property values, commercial sales, when when mediums are added, but more than 90 businesses located along this section have expressed their concerns losing revenue due to medians. Want to take it?
Okay, sure. In business news, St. George's Donuts will be opening a Nixa location this spring. The business of over 50 years is run by a family with deep roots in Springfield and the Nixa area. Following is a picture of Nick St. George of St. George's Donuts. He smiles inside his Sunshine Street location. This picture was, was taken just yesterday here in Springfield. He's in a blue T-shirt and again standing proudly in his store. St. George's Donuts is coming to Nixa in late November. Contractor Jared Commercial and Management announced the donut shop will open in the same 701 North McCroskey Street Strip Mall as Papo's Pizza. Owner Nick St. George expects the Nixa community will be similar to Ozark, where St. George's Donuts planted a location in 2018. You get a little more of a small town feel there, just a more local feel, he said. I think there's a lot more professionals that live around East Springfield, so they're kind of busy in and out. The owner is expecting the Nixa location to open around spring 2026. The new store will be opening on the street with family ties. See a picture of in addition to donuts, the delicious St. George's Danishes and savory kolaches. Katie St. George learned to make donuts as a girl. Although her roots are in the Ozarks, the family moved to California when she was a kid. Her father bought into a donut franchise where she worked and met her future husband. They established the first St. George's Donuts in Springfield on Grant Street and Glenstone Avenue in 1971. Nick St. George, the youngest of Katie's 6 children, grew up in the donut shop. Sometimes he napped on flour sacks when he got tired. Quote, a lot of my early memories are there. I just remember a lot of old men that would hang out. Back then, they could smoke cigarettes inside. People would just hang out all day, he says. St. George went on to work as a barber for 10 years, but decided to take over the family business when his mom expressed interest in selling it. Now he operates the East Sunshine Street and Ozark locations, while his brother Kevin St. George runs the one on National Avenue. The family has deep roots in Springfield and the Nixa area. St. George said he is related to the Wasson and McCroskey families, founders and owners of Nixa Hardware, and the namesakes of Wasson Drive and McCroskey Street. The next headline, future locations will be around Springfield. St. George said he isn't looking to build a franchise or break into other states' markets. He wants St. George's Donuts to stay local to the area and has considered putting another storefront in Springfield. He says, I'll just do this, Nixa location, and see if I lose my hair or not, he quipped. If it works out, then I'll keep going. The business likes to keep things old-fashioned. St. George said his family sticks pretty close to making donuts the way Katie learned. He's experimented with a few other things, however, recently adding kolaches, American Czech sausage pastries popularized in Texas. He's looking at ideas to expand on more savory stuff. And from the Greene County, Missouri Facebook page, you're invited to enjoy some beautiful Christmas music in the Greene County Historic Courthouse this month. Coming up, now we're broadcasting on Wednesday at, coming up at, as we sign off at noon, the Republic High School will be performing, that is tomorrow. Today, the Fairgrove Singing Eagles will be performing. That'll be beginning at 12:30, followed by the Springfield Lutheran School at 1:30, and then tomorrow in the Greene County Historic Courthouse, with wonderful acoustics they have there, the Second Baptist Handbells will be performing at 11, followed by the Republic High School at noon, and the Willard Chamber Choir at 1 p.m. And even more free activities, Photos with Santa, 5 to 8 p.m. downtown on the square. That's Friday and Saturdays. And there's a lighted holiday train ride in Park Central Square, 5 to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturdays. And also take note of free carriage rides December 13th, 19th, and 20th. And those are held from 6 to 9 p.m.
Here are the holiday shipping deadlines. Mall hours for procrastinators. And we got a short video clip here outside the United States Federal Building. The holiday season can get busy, and it's easy to push off shopping, shipping, and other responsibilities to the last minute. Whether you are still looking for last-minute gifts or need to ensure presents get to the loved ones elsewhere by Christmas. News leaders have put together a guideline to ease the stress for the holidays. Battlefield Mall hours to accommodate those on the lookout for perfect holiday gifts. Springfield Battlefield Mall has extended its hours. Mall will be open from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday this December, and 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sundays. For those who really like to push it to the last minute, on Christmas Eve, December 24th, the mall will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and will be closed on Christmas Day, December 25th. And they got a picture of some presents underneath a tree. When to ship the holiday packages. Some presents have a longer way to travel to get into the hands of the loved ones sharing the holiday joy. To ensure the packages arrive by December 25th, the U.S. Postal Service provided guidelines for shipping those out. These are recommended send-by dates for shipments within the U.S. using USPS Ground Advantage Service, December 17th or December 16th for shipments to Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, U.S. territories. Using first-class mail services, December 17th. Using USPS Priority Mail Service, December 18th. Using USPS Priority Mail Express Services, December 20th. Here are the deadlines to keep in mind for military and international mail. First-class mail and priority mail services, December 19th. The deadline differs from packages to Central and South America, excluding Mexico. On recommending send date, December 2nd. Priority Mail Express Military Service, or PMEMS, through this service is available to select military diplomatic post offices and Priority Mail Expresses International Services, December 16th. Free shipping supplies are available online and at your local United States Post Office. Find your closest post office and its hours on the USPS website. If you'd rather skip a visit to the post office, the website offers you options for paying, printing, shipping labels, online, and scheduling free package pickup when USPS delivers your mail. Learn more and shop the holiday stamps at www.usps.com. Send joy. UPS, FedEx shipping deadlines. If the UPS deadlines are a little hard to reach, UPS and FedEx can offer a quicker turnabout for the holiday, though they may come slightly at a higher cost than USPS. Here's when you send out the packages domestically through these services to ensure they are delivered by the 24th. UPS Ground, check their website. UPS 3-day select, December 19th. UPS 2-day air, December 22nd. UPS next day, December 23rd.
Two Shell Knob men are dead in Berry County crash, the Highway Patrol reports. This is a story by Claudette Riley of the Springfield News-Leader. Key points: 2 men from Shell Knob, Missouri killed in a single vehicle crash. The vehicle ran off the road on a curb, struck a tree, and overturned. And a third man from Nebraska was injured and transported to a hospital. 2 men from Shell Knob were killed in a one-vehicle wreck. This happened Friday, December 5th in Berry County. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, there were at least 3 men in the vehicle, and it was unclear who was driving. The patrol said that part is under investigation. The 3 men were in a 2003 Chevrolet Silverado going south on Stallion Bluff Road, 3 miles north of Shell Knob, when the vehicle ran off the roadway on a curve, struck a tree, and overturned. 2 men from Shell Knob, ages 24 and 48, were pronounced dead at the scene, transported to a funeral home in Cassville. A 30-year-old man from Franklin, Nebraska was transported to Mercy Hospital in Springfield. None of the men were wearing seat belts, according to the patrol. The crash occurred again shortly before 11 p.m. on December 5th. And the headline: a Missouri freshman, an MSU freshman killed in Kansas City area during a family visit. Alea Murphy, 18, was reported missing November 28th in Independence and was later found dead. We see a shot of Missouri State University, and the article continues: a Missouri State University freshman was found dead in South Kansas City after going home for Thanksgiving. Alea Murphy, 18, was reported missing November 28th, and through an investigation, the Independence Criminal Investigation Unit discovered Murray had possibly been shot in Independence. The next day, Murray was found deceased in South Kansas City, according to an Independence Police Department news release. Details are sparse as the case remains an active investigation, according to the release. Anyone with information regarding Murray's death is asked to contact TIPS hotline at 816-474-TIPS or the Independence Police Department. Independence Police are investigating the incident as a homicide. MSU does not provide comment on student deaths. Emily Letterman, MSU Public Relations Strategist, said in an email, "The university will hold a memorial for deceased students at the end of the school year." Murray was studying nursing at MSU and was known for her bashful grin and friendly personality, according to a report in the Kansas City Star, which cites a news conference hosted last week. A fundraiser started by Murray's family has raised more than $9,400 for help with funeral costs. The GoFundMe says Murray's remains were found near 87th and Blue River Road in Kansas City. Murray is survived by her mother and 2 younger siblings, according to the fundraiser. She had so much to live for and did not deserve this tragedy, Earl Collins, the fundraiser organizer, said in an update. Any ongoing support for Leah's mother and 2 younger siblings means more to us than words can express. Oh. And from parades to lunch with Santa, here are just a few of some Ozarks holiday events. And it is beginning, of course, to look and smell a lot like Christmas, even after our post-Thanksgiving snow dusting has melted. If you're already in the spirit or you need a little nudge, take a look at this list, which includes parades and tree lightings, as well as places to enjoy a festive drink. There are plenty of events, Santa sightings, pop-up bars, handcrafted gift opportunities in the Ozarks this season. You can stay in the spirit with the whole family throughout, whether you want to make a day of it or if you're looking for something to fill a slow afternoon. Here they are, some holiday attractions that are running throughout the month. Bass Pro Shops Skating Trail, when through January 4th, and held at the Bass Pro Shops 1 Bass Pro Drive here in Springfield. The parking lot at Bass Pro Shops is transformed into a winter wonderland, including an 8,000 square foot ice skating trail. Tickets begin at $15. Experience open 4 to 9 p.m. Monday through Fridays, 10 to 9 on Saturdays, and 10 a.m. to 7 on Sundays. Extended hours during the weeks of Christmas and New Year's Day from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on December 22nd, 23rd, and 26th, December 29th, 30th, and January 1st and 2nd. Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve will be available from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. It will be closed on Christmas Day. Sea of Lights Enchanted Christmas at Wonders of Wildlife is set through January 4th and is held at the Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium, 500 West Sunshine Street, Springfield. Wonders of Wildlife is hosting its Sea of Lights Enchanted Christmas. Brilliant lights, festive sounds, interactive multimedia projections transform the entire aquarium into a glowing wonderland. Entry is included with general admission and memberships. Gardens Aglow at Mizumoto Japanese Stroll Gardens. This is held through December 28th, and the Stroll Garden is located at 2400 South Scenic Avenue. During select dates until December 28th, guests can walk through the garden to see more than 225,000 festive lights, as well as enjoy drinks and treats from local food vendors. Pre-sale tickets, which can be bought at the website friendsofthegarden.org, are $6 for adults, $4 for children between 3 and 12 years old. And at the gate, tickets are $8 for adults, $5 for children between 3 and 12. Friends of the Garden members, Springfield Sisters Cities Association members, and children younger than 2 years old get in for free. An old-time Christmas at Silver Dollar City is happening through January 4th, and we see a very colorful picture of Santa Claus waving from his sleigh during the nightly Christmas parade at Silver Dollar City. Take in the sights, sounds, and tastes of the holiday season at Silver Dollar City's Old Time Christmas. According to the park, this year's event is featuring more than 6.5 million lights adorning every area from top to bottom. Attractions this year include a real tree in the plaza, an 8-story animated tree with music and lights, the Frisco Sing-Along Steam Train, as well as shows like A Dickens Christmas Carol, The Living Nativity, and Heart of Christmas. This is your last chance to catch Rudolph's Holly Jolly Christmas Light Parade, which is in its final season. And of course, a lot of parades are happening around the Ozarks. It's certainly not the holiday season without floats festooned in lights and community cheer. And just a few parades to mention that have not happened yet. The Springfield Parade, and we see a picture of some folks who came out for last year's parade in colorful holiday sweaters and looking for a chance to get some candy. The holiday Christmas parade in downtown Springfield is set for this Saturday, 2 p.m. You can enjoy floats, bands, and more as they make their way through downtown Springfield. Say a big Merry Christmas to Santa Claus himself as the Queen City celebrates the rustic nature of the Ozarks with this year's, quote, Wrapped in Plaid theme. The parade begins at Elm Street and makes its way north on South Street. It will circle the west side of Park Central Square and continue eastward on St. Louis Street to the Springfield Expo Center. Also, Stratford Parade and tree lighting will be held on December 13th, with the tree lighting at Delp Park Pavilion, 104 East Pine Street in Stratford. The parade will start at 5 p.m. and is led by John Barry this year, a very well-known country music star. After the parade, there will be a tree lighting ceremony and Christmas carols at Delp Park Pavilion. And one more I'll add, Ebenezer Parade and tree lighting, also set for December 13th, and that'll be held at 1624 West Farm Road 56, Springfield. And you're invited to join in this old-time Christmas parade in Ebenezer going along Farm Road 56. It will start at 6:15 and end at the Ebenezer United Methodist Church's parking lot. After the parade, folks can go across the street to help trim the community Christmas tree and enjoy hot cocoa and snacks. Guests are encouraged to bring a non-perishable food item to help stock the United Methodist Church's food pantry.
Missouri alternative methods for deer hunting. Harvest continues trend from earlier season. Missouri hunters harvested 10,071 deer using alternative methods such as muzzle loading rifles, crossbows, dart launching antlers. What? According to preliminary data from the Missouri Department of Conservation, the alternate methods proceed from firearms season of December 28 to January 7th of the 10,071 deer hunting harvest. 2,765 were antlerless bucks, 1,072 were button bucks, 6,234 does. They got a picture of 2 bucks standing in a field by a wood line. Top harvest counties were Franklin with 223 deer harvested, Pike with 209, and Macon with 207. Total numbers are taken their alternative method portion of the season in was down compared to previous last year, when 12,496 deer were harvested. That continues a trend for 20,024 firearms hunting season, which hunters harvested 15% below the 5-year average. MDS survey programs Supervisor Jason Isabel said that November was release factors contributing to the deer harvests, including competitively late start in the season, an abundant acorn crop, meaning deer had to move around less, search for food, generally unfavorable weather conditions. For the up-to-date preliminary harvest totals, season, county type deer, visit the MDSC website. Deer hunting continues with archery season running through January 15th. After that, hunters will have to wait until September 15th for their next chance for a trophy buck. Find more information on deer hunting online at mdcmo.gov/hunting trapper species deer and MDS 2024 fall deer and turkey hunting regulations and information booklets available online where permits are sold.
Christian sober living homes expand in rural Missouri with little oversight. This is an article written by Steve Quinn in the Springfield News-Leader. And a couple of key points. Faith-based sober living houses are emerging in southern Missouri to address a scarcity of accredited recovery services. These unaccredited facilities operate outside of state regulatory structures, raising concerns about oversight and effectiveness. Local judges and prosecutors see value in these houses, but desire more standardization and communication to ensure accountability. Jerry Chasen had been living under a bridge in Gainesville, fighting larceny charges and trying to get clean. Biking from Springfield to Mountain Home, Arkansas, where he planned to stay with a friend, Chasen, 52, was pulled over and arrested on a warrant for a stolen car, charges that were eventually dropped. While fighting the charges, Chasen said he got into a cycle of, quote, using stressing, failing drug tests at his court appearances, and then having to go do 7 days in jail. He was in jail when another inmate told him about the Action Recovery Center, a Christian sober living house in Gainesville. The residential program promised to help residents with substance use disorders find stability through faith, work, and peer support. And we see a picture of Jerry Chasen reflecting on his time as a resident and mentor at Action Recovery Center in Gainesville. Chasen became one of about 20 Missourians who have graduated from Action Recovery Center's 9-month program since it opened in November of 2023. It's one of a spate of faith-based sober living houses established by Christians in recovery from substance use disorders in Wright, Ozarks, Douglas, and Texas counties. They've emerged outside Missouri's regulatory structures for recovery houses in a part of the state where treatment and services for people battling substance use disorders are scarce. There are 3,677 accredited beds in the state. 44% of them are located in St. Louis or Kansas City. There are no accredited beds in Ozark County, where Action Recovery Center is located. While these unaccredited recovery houses meet a need in communities where treatment options are limited or non-existent, they raise concerns that a lack of any oversight could hinder their effectiveness or lead to abuse. Quote, these things are popping up all over, said Judge Craig Carter, presiding judge in the 44th Circuit, which spans Ozark, Wright, and Douglas counties. And they give a lot of people who otherwise could not get it, they give them a second chance. Carter said that while he has a working relationship with recovery houses like Action Recovery Center and Mountain Moving Ministry in Wright County, he doesn't always know what to expect from new houses further afield. If I send someone all the way down to Butler County, I need to know that they're going to communicate me and that they're above board, Carter said. And we see a location of accredited substance use disorder recovery beds in Missouri. Just mentioned the largest group in the Kansas City area, St. Louis, also Columbia, Springfield. The Missouri map is color-coded and also has is spotlighting areas in Joplin, Branson, and Cape Girardeau, where recovery houses and facilities are located. Recovery houses in Missouri are not required to undergo any certification process to open their doors, but in order to receive state or federal funding dispersed by the Missouri Department of Mental Health, they must be accredited by the Missouri Coalition of Recovery Support Providers. The coalition accredits recovery houses using standards established by the National Alliance of Recovery Residencies. The standards cover residents' rights, building safety, and the house's relationship with neighbors, and after initial accreditation, the coalition visits houses every 2 years to ensure they still meet all requirements. Myrna Epic, director of the Coalition's Housing Committee, said the aim of accreditation is to strengthen support for residents of these recovery houses. She says, "We try hard to help you become better. Our goal is, even if you've got 20 deficiencies, you've got 90 days to fix it. We revisit it and say, yeah, you did a great job, you're accredited. We want to help all of us be better." Following this is a picture of some gentlemen who gathered in the living room of Big Boy Ben's Ministry, which is a faith-based sober living house in Kabul. And this picture was taken of these gentlemen on October 28th. But Action Recovery Center and a handful of other recovery houses in southern Missouri are not seeking accreditation. Ken Palm, founder of Big Boy Men's Ministry in Kabul, says he doesn't pursue state funding because he is concerned the money would come with requirements that could sideline resident spiritual development. If we receive state funding, Palm said, a lot of times we're not allowed to make it all about Christ. We get limited to what we can actually do as far as the type of classes. For Palm, the biggest issue with accreditation relates to medication-assisted treatment. He and other leaders of faith-based sober living homes told The Independent that they worry taking medications like methadone or buprenorphine to beat an opioid addiction set people up to relapse. Decades of research have shown that methadone and the other medication taken as, quote, maintenance medications for months or years sharply reduce overdose deaths by 50 to 70%. Recovery houses don't have to accept medication-assisted treatment to be accredited or receive state funding, but if they do, if they want any federal funds through the U.S. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And we see a small headline here. It says, "To fish for a man." On Tuesday evening in late October, 15 to 20 men spilled from the living room to the kitchen of an old house in Kabul with a couple of people poring over Bibles in an adjoining room. And this is one of 2 homes to Big Boy Men's Ministry. There are at least 4 bedrooms filled with the stuff of the men's lives. Family photos taped to the wall, backpacks, laundry hampers. Palm is rushing to get to a revival, and he's trying to round up residents who want to come. Others stay to socialize with hugs and gentle ribbing among men who have become friends. Palm said he began his ministry to men struggling with addiction while he was on probation. He'd strike up conversations when he reported to the probation office. He says he and his wife really enjoy this service, Palm said, because downstairs when the guys are down there and they're being rowdy, laughing, and just carrying on with each other, being brothers with one another, it's wonderful to be partakers of that experience. It is very rewarding. The men work during the day and they attend evening classes 4 to 5 times a week. Saturday is laundry and shopping day, Palm said, and from 10 to 1 they volunteer in the community, building decks, repairing roofs, washing windows, cleaning gutters, and just different things like that. Once a month they hold street church and share their testimony with the public.
Oh boy. Right, we got dead air.
Oh.
Is it close enough?
We'll just briefly mention that a couple of events on this date in history. A rather sad note for comedy fans. American comedian and actor Richard Pryor, who revolutionized comedy with his frank and controversial style, passed away at age 65. Also, President Nelson Mandela signed a new constitution on this date that completed a transition from a long period of white minority rule to full-fledged democracy in South Africa. Otis Redding, one of the great soul stylists of the 1960s, passed away on this date, died in an airplane crash. And the first Nobel Prizes were distributed, marking the 5th anniversary of the death of Alfred Nobel, the Swedish industrialist and inventor of dynamite, who founded and endowed the awards through his will. And representatives of space in the United States signed the Treaty of Paris, concluding the Spanish-American War. And I'd like to thank you so much for very nice working with you this morning, sir. We've been listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service, and we hope you'll tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel, 9 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Please listen after we're live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.ku.edu. All broadcasts are played over KSMU subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. And we definitely want to invite you to also, for your shopping, the Blind Community Thrift Store in Springfield, 2713 North Kansas Expressway. You can find some great deals Monday through Saturday from 9 to 6. Help the blind. Help the community.